Kelly, speaking of time, we're running toward the allotment here. I wanted to just ask if there's anything that has come up recently, any updates that you want to throw in here, anything new that's come up, and then also maybe talk a little bit about the environment that we're in right now as an industry and how these firms that may not be capitalized appropriately, how they're going to be dealing with the possibility of commission compression and buyer agents. I mean, it's some people are predicting we could lose a ton of some of the agents who produce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a year. Just because they don't have the skill set to be able to state their value when they're talking to a buyer. They've never had to do that. They just had to open a door and that's it. Yeah.
Well, without getting too philosophical, let me say, I want to bring this down to something that can be eaten by an agent that makes sense. First thing I'm going to say is don't fear. If you're listening to this podcast and you've been watching all the influencers on YouTube talk about, oh my God, Armageddon, this thing is horrible, don't fear. Learn how to bend with the season. And I'll make a point. In my market, new construction is way up. So if you are selling real estate and you don't have an online or an internet presence letting people know that you are a new construction expert, you've missed the boat. In the last 90 days, according to my MLS, in the city of Claremont, over 51% of all the deals that have closed have been new construction. It wasn't like that a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But because of the incentives and the builders offering rate buy downs, it's more attractive. So for agents that saw this 6 months ago to a year ago, like me, we are being able to dominate the market because we shifted. So for you guys that are watching this, instead of having a fear-based mentality, which really all that's going to do is put you in lockdown, because you're going to be wondering what could happen instead of doing what should happen. What you need to do is partner with people like Cliff, like myself, partner with people that are out there and reinventing the wheel. Every time some ripple in the pond comes, we know which way to veer, and then we go become an expert on that. So if they're going to do some things with our industry that messes up the buyer's agency, then start looking at the tea leaves. How can we compress that time, redirect our focus into an area that we know is going to work? Because here's what I know, Cliff. People are always going to sell homes. People are always going to buy homes. Even in this market, people are buying homes. You just need to know which vein to tap into, and it wasn't the same vein 2 years ago. Those of us that saw it and pivoted, we're doing fine. So for you agents watching this, don't be afraid. Learn to pivot. Hang around people that have been successful no matter what market conditions are and learn from them, and then you're going to be fine in this market. We all can prophesy what we think is going to happen. I'm going to concentrate on what's happening today, and then I'm going to look 6 months down the road to see how I need to pivot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're spot on. Work on the things you can control, and the rest of it, everybody's going to have to deal with it. It's funny. We've had a lot of inquiries from independent brokers who are starting to understand the value of aligning with a larger company at this point. All the stuff. I mean, gosh, the real estate industry is just getting crushed in the media right now, and I mean, who would have ever thought that? And I don't want to go down this rabbit trail, but, I'm concerned now about us being able to deliver services to our veterans and to first-time home buyers because of the restrictions and, the inability of first-time home buyers to come up with the cash to pay a buyer's agent. So we've got a lot of work to do. Sometimes there's unintended consequences when, we're trying to do the right thing. But when you get a jury of however many people that were of peers who probably know zero about the real estate business
in 2 hours,
and you get some sharp, tongued attorney up there to be able to twist them, this was a shock, frankly, that it turned out the way it did, and there's more to come. So, but I agree with you. This is not the time to panic. The ship is not going to go down. It could take years for this to work itself through the system. But in the meantime, it just really stresses the importance, Kelly, like you pointed out earlier, so important to do your due diligence and, look under the hood. With your experience and your journey, you're a great contact for people to reach out to.